Hey everybody, today we're going to be looking at what was he thinking for the Type 59. What we're going to see here is we're going to see a lot of uh, situational awareness about our tank and about the tanks around us, and we're going to take a look at what happens in the event of a crew member death that we can't heal. So we're going to start out here on Redshire, favorite map of a lot of people, hated by everybody else. And we're going to move up here towards the center, which is a typical position that we're going to see from a lot of either medium play or heavies with Great Depression or tanks that just can't really fight it out in the East in general. I personally like the middle of the map just because it can affect the whole area of the map. And we do get lit here, and what we're going to see is that we're going to take a quick look around here, determine that none of these guys have directly spotted me. They're actually all outside of our spotting range, maximum spotting range. There's no chance whatsoever that they spotted us. So I'm pausing here right now in this battle to say, hey, there's probably somebody in D6, and I check around me to see, there's nobody that could actually you see me to my left, and nobody could have gotten there in time. But we're going to be sitting here exposed for a while and still be lit and lose our driver. But we're putting out to the team that, hey, there's probably a scout in the D67 area or something like that. So we're going to back off a little bit. We're going to take a shot here at the T71, and we're going to back away further just because we don't want to keep playing here because we can be spotted by that invisible scout. So we're moving away. We're moving up here towards the middle, and we're actually going to see that somebody has lit that MT25, which spotted us earlier. It was probably our SP1C, but it could have been the T71 as well. But we're going to move up here, which is a bit dangerous to do this because the scout is right over there. But after taking a shot or two, he's probably pulled back into cover and can no longer see us. But we're going to see a Type 59 pop up here. We're going to fire a few rounds at him, and the first two do not penetrate, and we are using APCR rounds just because a Type 59 versus a Type 59, you do kind of have to use those APCR rounds in order to get him to pen reliably. And we'll speed this up to double speed just to see our positioning here. We're a little safer over here. We're going to actually take a shot from the Type 59 here, but it will bounce because we only have our turret top exposed to him. So there's the bounce from him, and he is getting lit up by our team. So the M4A1 behind us is shooting him. We're shooting him, and I auto-aim here. Should have taken a manual shot on that because he did get a saving throw. Going to now move over here to the LTTB, and we see that we actually spot this KV2 that's sitting in the back here. We take a look. There he is back there in the open. He is moving towards this cover right over here, and he's going to take a shot at us, almost hitting his LTTB as we move into cover. But we swing around here with a little spacebar turn and light this LTTB on fire. And we're going to finish him off right here while still in cover. We heard an artillery round land behind us, so we know artillery's looking over here, but we're going to keep using this terrain to our advantage. We're going to move up here. We see that the KV2 is set up here. I thought he wasn't loaded at this time, but we do hit the track of that T25 AT while he's out in the open. And unfortunately, if you guys are paying attention, the KV2 did take out our loader. So we're going to have to go through the rest of the match with no loader, but we're going to keep our head on the swivel and just keep watching around us. We're going to keep looking at the mini-map. And we're going to keep trying to bait this KV2 to miss. So what I was doing there was I was pulling forward, stopping, and trying to get that KV2 to do one of two things. Either pull out further to expose himself more for a better shot from our guys in order for him to hit me as I was moving forward, or to have him miss just like he did right there. And we can still see that that T25 AT is still tracked, and if we look around here, it is because of the help of this KV85 back here and the 3601H. We're both probably shooting at this guy, but he is still stuck back there. So we're going to keep trying to deal damage to him and keep trying to have him stay tracked there. That shot did disperse down into his other tracks, so it's going to be a little bit of an issue trying to get all of the damage on him dealt by our allies, because he is at least a decent way away. And we see he's fixed his track here, so we're going to take another shot at his track and deal some damage as well. And we saw as we were looking over at that KV2, that his outline did light up a little bit. So we're going to hug back in here behind the hill slightly, just so that we don't take a shot from him as we check to see if he is actually visible to us, which he wasn't, and that was great because as we look back to the T-25 AT, we can see that it was destroyed by our allies here while he was still tracked. So we did get all that damage assistance on that, and we're going to move over here to try and get this KV-85. But while we are aiming in on him, he does actually get killed by our allies. We took a shot at the M225. It misses, unfortunately. The Type 59 is not a very accurate tank, and its very long aim time is quite brutal in certain situations. But if we take a look and we pause here, we look at the guys around us. We see full health 3601H. He does have that 105 on there, so his rounds are a little bit less effective against armored vehicles. Our Nashorn down here is a one-shot, and our KV-85 is a two-shot. But if we look back here, we see the M4A1 starting to shoot at these guys that are in the southeast corner here that actually took out our guys in the southeast. And we have a Type 71 over in this direction on the minimap here, trying to fight a Cheeto. But we really got to worry about that M225 now that we have a dead loader, because with the low maneuverability of the Type 59 medium tank, it's going to be an issue if he decides to circle strafe us. Here again, we're baiting the KV2 here by not stopping. We don't want to stop. We don't want to get hit by this guy. He has 300 hit points left, but our gun averages around 250, and I'm not counting on an extreme high roll in order to kill this guy. So we're going to keep moving around the building, and if I get a shot on him, great, but I don't. So we automatically hear our guys shooting at him. But if we stop here and take a look at his silhouette, we can see that that is his gun mantlet right there, and that is his gun looking directly at us. So I don't want to pull out. Yeah, I can sit here for a little bit and just wait, and we're actually going to see our allies take him out here. First a shot from the 304, and then the kill shot by the Nashorn. And at this point, we actually see the SU-100Y, and it's that little notification that came up on the screen that caught my attention as to me spotting him. And I quickly snapped my head around to see if he has a shot on us, which he is currently behind a rock. And it's that little section on the top of his vehicle that we saw that allowed me to spot him. But again, here's the M225 whose shot went through us, and the second one bounced. We're going to take a snapshot at him and unfortunately miss. But we need to move away from that SU-100Y, as he can mess us up very badly. And we need to actually come back here and help our guys here in the middle. So we're moving away from the M225 and the SU-100Y. The 3601H unfortunately does charge at him, and will be taken out by the 100Y and artillery combination. But we see here the 100Y is backing down the ridge, so we can't get a shot on him. But a side note from this is that we actually spotted the artillery. You're going to see me back up immediately after I fire here, and I want to explain that this artillery is within draw distance. He actually is within a good, reasonable distance from me to actually spot me when I fire. So I'm going to fire and immediately back up. But he doesn't spot me. So I'm going to sit there and take another shot at him. Again, this 100Y took out our 3601. But as the artillery runs for cover, we actually see that the 100Y presents a full forward silhouette to us. So we took a shot on him and knocked him down to one shot. And we see that the M225 came back up here on our minimap. So we did take a look at him real quick to see exactly where he was as we look to take out this 100Y. I take a shot at him, but unfortunately it hits the dirt as the shells continue to travel to the outside 60% of the reticle. And we see a KV-5 rolling up here, who just took out our KV-85, and if we look over here to our right, we see this KV-4. So with the KV-4 on the other side of the hill and the KV-5 here, I'm counting on our M4A1 to deal some damage to this KV-4, but he does come over and help us out with this KV-5. Now the artillery tracks the KV-5, and I do get hit by him, but it's a reasonable hit just to take out this artillery. We're going to see our KV-85 up there with the 100Y. He's actually going to be taken out by the 100Y. And it's our 3601H that actually was destroyed on the hill there by our M4A1. Now the shot that you saw, if you guys caught that, that our M4A1 took, was actually the Cheeto. He's still back over here. So him taking that shot, and he actually shot at me once. right before that. Tells me that he is still down in this area, so he is out of the fight. I want to move to a position that will keep him out of the fight. So I'm coming up here on this KV-4 with an APCR round loaded, and I want to try to make my shots pen, but unfortunately it hits his mantlet and grazes down. But we see our M4A1 here charge in. Not the wrong thing to do. Definitely not the wrong thing to do. There's the Cheeto. He took another shot at us, but we're going to try to take out this KV-4 here, and I'm going to keep watching him, keep auto-aimed on him, and then turn around and watch him because I want to get him knocked out without that M4A1 losing any more hit points. Because if I die, it's going to be all on that M4A1 to pick out the rest of these guys. We're going to take a look here. Here's the 100Y. He shows up again. He starts pulling forward, and then he fires and starts backing up. Now, I wait to get a shot between these two wall segments here because at least on other maps like Airfield, these wall segments will eat rounds. They'll destroy the round before it ever gets to your target. Plus, if for some weird reason my round would disperse into tracks of the SU-100Y and say the wall didn't eat the round, I don't want to lose that extra 25% of penetration for it passing through that destructible object. So I'm going to wait until I see an open gap shot on that 100Y to shoot him. Our round connects. He is taken out. That's kill number 3, and we're actually going to look for the artillery here. Now, you have to think here. The artillery has seen us coming up this way, which is why I go between these two houses instead of to the right. Because he is looking this way. He's trying to aim down on us, shots on us. So if I run through this cover, one, it's a different path than what he might think I'm taking, as well as it provides me extra cover from the artillery. But we're going to speed it up here as we close in on this artillery. And in case I'm still lit somehow, I want to keep coming at him like I was traveling straight at him, but then I break off to the right to flank him. And we're going to see as soon as he first lights up here, he's looking exactly where I was going to come through. So flanking here was definitely a good idea. And he does see me, so he's turning back on me. But I take that little extra amount of time there to make sure I aim in and get that kill shot on him, because if I missed, I'm dead. We're going to speed this up here to 4x, just because the Cheeto at this point, he's on the south end of the map. But I am looking around for him. I thought he would have came up here into this little cove. So he's actually not up there, but he does light up here on our south side. And it takes me a little while to actually realize that he's moving towards our artillery. I guess our artillery might shoot at him here. I'm not sure. Can't see him, but he for some reason decides to break away from the artillery. And our artillery is actually moving back east here a little bit. But we can see, there he is. He lights up right there. And I'm going to take my time and actually aim in on him a little bit just so I don't miss, because my shells have been flying odd lately. So he can't kill me in one shot. And at this angle, he's actually going to have a lot of trouble even penetrating the side. But we're going to take a look here and just roll up over and kill him. So all in all, what to take away from this is to make sure you know where your allies are in relation to you, that they can help you. Make sure you see where your allies are firing. Make sure that you can help out your allies. If you don't get too far forward, that you can't come back to aid them. You know, if you lose a crew member, just try to deal with it as best as possible. If you lose your commander, you must heal your commander. He's probably the most important on your tank. The reason for this is spawning distance. If you lose your commander, your spawning distance automatically gets cut down to about 1.5 grids. This is not conducive to winning battles, to not have good view. So questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the comments. And that was the, what was he thinking for the Type 59 minus loader. 5 kills, 4,100 damage, and 965 assisted. So thank you everybody for coming along. Be on the lookout for the next video. The next video should be the M48 Patton. 9 kills. Next time.